I'm walking down and people will be in cars like, I love you, Wisdom. And then like, that's cute. And I'm like, hi, but not everyone else is looking at me. And it's just like, I don't know. And I know people do.
So off rip, I don't know. Now, it's not to say that this might not be happening, because I just want to preface this with I'm not trying to sound insensitive at all. I'm just simply analyzing what I'm seeing when he's talking, because I feel like these when people go on these rants and stuff like that, there is like almost like an unconscious story that's going on that they're not really privy to in their mind because they're in it. So there was a video that is going viral, or that went viral. It's no longer up, by a creator by the name of Wisdom Kaye, who talks about how fame has affected his life. And I wanted to give a live reaction to this video. I already saw the video, but I want to give my take on it, because I think that there's a conversation to be had about people who go into the limelight and essentially, what's the word I'm looking for? Basically, it's not what they expect in terms of what fame is and how people respond and stuff like that. Like, I think that there's a conversation to be had on both sides, from the fans' perspective, but also the person who is famous perspective. And I just wanted to react to it and give my thoughts, because I feel like the conversation that I would like to have, I'm not seeing people have. So I figured, why not just give my thoughts on reacting to this video. So I'm not going to do too much talking. I'm just going to play it and then give my thoughts on what I think. I'm watching this on Twitter, so if you are trying to find it, I think that you can find it on Twitter. So yeah, just search Wisdom Kaye, how fame has affected my life in the search bar, and you'll find something.
I've been hesitating making this video because honestly, I just don't even know if I should talk about it, but it's just been weighing on me for so long. Like, I really have been unable to leave my house in peace or do anything without feeling so tense. Like, every time I step foot outside, like, I think I'm getting to a point with, social media and fame and being recognized where it's generally so overwhelming that it's starting to scare me. Like, I can't do anything normal anymore. And
So off rip, a few things that he says. He feels so tense as soon as he steps outside. Now, I am a firm believer that we are the creators of our reality. What he's describing, if I'm just to take it at face value, what he's describing has very little to do with the people itself. It has more so to do with what it is, that the energy that he's walking into the world with. So for instance, he says that when he walks outside, he immediately feels tense. Nothing has happened yet, but this is the story that he is telling himself walking outside the door. So it's only natural that that's what he's going to attract when he bumps into people. Just calling a spade a spade. Now, I'm not saying this to be insensitive or anything like that. I don't want to deny him of his experience, but if I'm just going off of what he's saying, as soon as I walk outside, I feel tense. Naturally, that belief is going to attract that energy into your life. Let's continue.
I feel like I should have known this for a while, but I'm just such a regular person at my core that I want to just walk around and do things, especially with my friends. But it's like, I can't do it anymore. Like, every time I go out, I'm always seen and I'm always aware that I'm being perceived, because I see it. Like, people do things where, they look at me, they look at their friend, they look at me and they gasp, they look at me and they their jaw drops, or they fucking yell at me from across the street, and they whatever. And there's so many things that happen where now I'm just like, it's made me so, I think it just made me so anxious when I go outside. Like, I don't know. It's like, and the thing is that a lot of people lose all sense of boundaries. That's the main one. Like, people will grab me and touch me to try to stop me when I'm walking. And it's like,
now, I don't think that this is okay. I don't feel like people should be walking up to anybody, grabbing them and touching them and doing anything where they feel as though that they're entitled to a specific person's space, all because they are in the limelight. I'm not condoning that in the slightest. Now, what I will say is that I feel as though that just from his mannerisms and what he's describing, he strikes me as somebody who is very self-conscious, very anxious, and overall not somebody who has a lot of boundaries to begin with. So for him to I guess feel that sense of security when he walks outside, I think he already is somebody who doesn't have like a strong sense of self or boundaries when it comes to just him in his everyday life. Because, and I'm just going off of what he's saying, if he's talking about walking outside and doing normal things, nobody's saying that he can't do normal things, but because he is who he is, I think he has like close to 10 million followers and a few million on IG. I don't really know the exact numbers, but I think he lives in a reality that regardless to what he does, he's going to be noticed by people. And I think that that's kind of the filter that he's operating from, where that's really all that he can see. So even if he is just naturally out with his friends and they are just doing normal shit, it doesn't really matter because he's anticipating the next time that somebody comes into his vicinity or calls his name. Like basically he wants to live in a world where he doesn't want to be recognized. And I feel like that's kind of hard to do when you are somebody who is somewhat famous. Now, I'm not saying that excuses the behavior of anybody who is a fan or anything like that. But what I will say is that the conversation is never talked about when people are putting themselves out there in the world and stuff like that. And then what comes with that is fame and notoriety. So let's continue.
Like even tonight, I was walking and this one girl was just like, oh my god, obviously I'm walking by and she's like, oh my god, it's Wisdom Kaye, and I'm just like walking with my friends and just minding my business, and I hear all that stuff, and she comes up to me and she's like right here, but she like grabs me, and out of instinct, the first thing I do is just look at my arm because I was just like grabbed, and I think she kind of knew that was a little bit crazy because she immediately was like, oh sorry, and then just said that I just wanted to say that she just wanted to say that like, oh, I like your stuff and I like your videos, whatever, and I said thank you so much, have a good night, all those things. But like people, especially when people yell at me from across the street, it's like that's the one that blows my mind the most, because now everyone's looking at me like people I've been walking down and people will be in cars like, I love you, Wisdom, and then like that's cute, and I'm like, hi, but now everyone else is looking at me, and it's just like, I don't know. And I know people do.
So off rip, I don't know. Now, it's not to say that this might not be happening, because I just want to preface this with, I'm not trying to sound insensitive at all. I'm just simply analyzing what I'm seeing when he's talking, because I feel like these when people go on these rants and stuff like that, there is like almost like an unconscious story that's going on that they're not really privy to in their mind because they're in it or they're in this state. So what he's describing when somebody says, oh my gosh, we love you, Wisdom, that's somebody just showing love. Now, if he feels weirded out by that, I mean, I could understand it, but from what it sounds like to me, what he's talking about is that he just doesn't like attention, period. Which I don't really understand, because like, if you are putting yourself out there and you don't want to be recognized, like I feel like if he did his fashion stuff, because he's a fashion creator, if he was to do his stuff and wear a mask the entire time, I feel like this wouldn't even be an issue. Now, it's kind of too late to do that because he is who he is, but I feel like there's not like a sense of comfortability within himself to basically just be okay with people acknowledging him in public. It's almost like he feels like it's a annoying thing for people to do that, which I don't really feel like is fair to the fans, because I mean, he's a dope creator, but I know he's not doing this to shit on his fans or to be ungrateful or anything like that. It's just him kind of explaining his experience, because I feel like a lot of people don't know what it feels like to be in the limelight and stuff like that. So for him, he's just trying to express himself in the best way that he can, which honestly I don't think is a good idea, which is why he probably deleted the video. But yeah, let's continue.
Things because it's out of appreciation, but I think a lot of the times I think I'm learning like some people really like attention, and I'm just not that kind of person. I think I really, really do not do good with attention and
And I think that's the crux of it. People who have this outlook on fame, saying like it's an annoying thing, like they really don't like attention, which I feel like that's something that has to be worked on because I don't know, bro. Like cuz for me, like I know that the stuff that I do is going to garner attention and there's going to come a certain level of fame. I'm okay with that. Now, obviously being able to do stuff in public and stuff like that, I think just having that awareness of, okay, do I need to get security? Do I need to do this? Do I need to do that? I don't know if he's at the level where he needs security, but if he is operating with this sense where he just doesn't want to be seen, doesn't want to be bothered and stuff like that, then he might want to invest in security. Now, it definitely is expensive, but I'm sure he can afford it. But yeah, if it gets to that point, then he might have to do that. But I don't really understand how people, I guess, are going into like content creation or stuff like that, but then they say like I don't do good with attention. Like, but everything that you're doing, like your whole career is kind of built on the attention of everybody. So I'm kind of confused with that, but let's continue.
and fame and all of that stuff. And it's like I can't even go grocery shopping. I tried going grocery shopping the other day, and I quickly remembered why I don't do this. Like I thought I'll just go grocery shopping, and then like as soon as I walk in, everyone at the store, right, like recognized me, and it's not like people. It's not even like they freaked out. But I knew that they did because there's behaviors that people have that unfortunately I've noticed every behavior under the book now. But it's like people will like just it'll be reactions like this, like or like or like they'll tap the friend, or they'll just be like, there's always something, and I notice it, and when I notice it, immediately I'm just like, fuck, like, you know what I mean? Like I already know what's I can't. This is not going to be a regular experience.
So, and that's the thing. It's not a regular experience, and I think that's the thing that he is like, I guess, missing. But I encourage wisdom and people like wisdom who are famous to understand that being recognized isn't a bad thing. Like if you are somebody who is like socially anxious and stuff like that, then I could see it being like an uncomfortable thing. But being noticed isn't like it's not a bad thing. It's just people just like, hey, it's wisdom. Now I'm not there in the store. I don't know exactly what they're doing, but just listening to the story, he's not describing something like what he described earlier where people are like going up to him and touching him. They're just noticing him in public. But I think that he just wants to be in a world where nobody notices him. But that's just not where he is anymore, And it sucks because I feel like a lot of people do want to just get seen or noticed by the masses and stuff like that. But once they actually get there, they realize, oh shit, like there's a different level of responsibility that comes with this. And yeah, I have to move different. And that's kind of what he's realizing I'm seeing. So, but let's continue.
And like, sometimes when I try to do regular things and like, especially people who may work at a place or whatever, try to like have a moment with me, it's even, I don't know, it's sometimes it's like the boundary crossing, especially, has made it difficult for me to embrace people who approach respectfully, which sucks the most because I'm just already so tense and so anxious, and it's so tricky.
So I think he is somebody who suffers from anxiety. Just looking at his mannerisms and stuff like that, like he strikes me as somebody who just doesn't have boundaries, like strong boundaries. So when he is going out in public, like he is just tense, just naturally. Let's continue.
Like I was at this thing in Paris where my friend, with my friends, it was a music festival, and oh my God, I couldn't even enjoy it with them because every step I took, it was something. It was something, maybe I was being touched or I was being yelled at, or, somebody wanted a photo, and nothing wrong with wanting a photo and those things. But like when those things happen like every 20 seconds, oh my God, even like people wanting to dap me up or shake my hand, and it's like, on paper, that's not a bad thing, but could you imagine having to dap up like 20 people every like 5 minutes? Like, I'm going to get COVID-20. And I think about things like that. And my friend, he literally offered to be my bodyguard. And I had peace of mind for a little bit. And it started to make me realize why people have bodyguards. it's not because they're scared of getting robbed. Maybe it is, but it's literally just because of like peace of mind, because somebody else can tell you no, can tell people no. And I don't like saying no to people because I want to say yes to everyone, and I want.
And that's the problem. You can't say yes to everybody, especially like when you're out in public and stuff like that. Like, and I think this is something that has to get talked about, where I feel as though that people do try people who they feel as though that they can get over on. Naturally, you got to have boundaries. And it is unfortunate for him because he is somebody who seems like a nice guy, where if he's walking the streets and stuff like that, like if somebody says, oh, can I get a picture? It's almost like there's a level of guilt that comes with him saying no. And I think that's more draining, because what he's not realizing is that by every time he says yes to somebody else, he's saying no to himself. And that is just going to create a life of misery where you're feeling as though that you're living for other people and you're not living for yourself. So in that sense, I just got to call a spade a spade. Like, he does have to work on saying no. But let's continue.
I take a photo with everyone, and like sometimes I'll have moments where people are like, oh, can I take a photo with you? And they can tell that I don't want to, but it's because I'm so anxious and I'm so overwhelmed and off put. But I'll say yes, and then they're like, wait, you don't have to say yes because they can tell I don't want to. But then I'm like, wait, fuck, I just said yes, let's take the photo. And it's like,
like, he could just say no. Like, it's that simple. He doesn't have to say yes. But let's continue.
I don't know, dude. This shit is just so overwhelming to me. And I think the thing is, like, people see me in a way I don't see myself. I don't see myself the same way people see me.
And that is the crux of it. He doesn't see himself the way other people see him. So when people are like, oh my God, wisdom, Kaye, he's like, what? Like, he's shocked. And I feel like, because I don't want to say it's like low self-worth, but like, to be, I guess, shocked about how people react to you when you are a celebrity, it's almost like, do you not believe you are who people think that you are? Like, I don't think Beyonce is shocked when people are like, oh my God, Beyonce. Oh, no, he's obviously not at the level that Beyonce is, but in his own way, it's like, I feel like there does have to come a level of self-assurance when it comes to being a public figure and stuff like that, because I think if you don't, then there's going to be this perpetual cycle of misery and disconnect, because you're looking at everybody like, why are they reacting like that? Like, but if you've seen this man's work, it's like, bro, how can you not? Now, I'm not excusing the behavior. I'm not excusing fan culture, and I think that's something that I want to make sure that I'm emphasizing. Like, I don't think it's okay for people to harass celebrities. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just trying to hold both truths at the same time, because I don't want people to I guess, not pursue their dreams in fear of this being a possibility of, oh, I can't do normal shit and stuff like that. Because again, you are the creator of your reality. So if you are operating in the mindset that every time I walk outside, it's a nightmare or somebody's going to run into me or whatever, even if one person bumps into you, it's going to be like, oh, see, this is why I don't go outside. And, you know, that's going to suck. But let's continue.
People see me as this larger than life figure. People see me as the way people react to me. Sometimes you think I'm the second coming of Christ. Like, people will stop in place and just be like, oh my, like freak out or whatever. And I've tried every strat under the book. Like, I've done fake phone calls. You know, I've done it all. It doesn't work. Just one time I tried doing a fake phone call, and I while walking, and this person was still just coming after me. Like, and then I was like, all right, let me up it, and I pretend like I was pissed on the phone. I was like, no, you don't get to fucking do that. You get. And this person was still just like, excuse me, hi, sorry, excuse me. And I'm like having the most passionate fake phone call of all time, and I'm literally expressing that I'm so angry and upset.
Like, I feel like this is way more excessive than just saying no. Like, he could literally just say no and keep it pushing. Like, to have a fake phone call, like, I think that is something that he just needs to work on, where it's just like, nah, I appreciate it, but I really don't want to be bothered right now. But much love. Like, it could be that simple. But going this route is like, you are exerting way more energy. But let's keep it going.
And this person just kept on being like, hi, sorry. And it didn't work. It just didn't work. And I know it seems extra that I did that instead of just like talking to the person, but it's like it's hard to explain how anxiety inducing it is sometimes just being perceived when you're just trying to do something like simple or like I don't know. Like I sometimes I try to like maintain normalcy in my life and it's just not possible anymore, which kind of
And I think that's something that he does need to work on, reshaping that belief, because I don't think anything would change if that's what he believes, where he's like, yeah, nothing can be normal. Because, I mean, to say that he could go back to a life where nobody knows him, that's gone, 100%. But you can still find normalcy in the life that you do live, because LeBron goes out in public. You know what I'm saying? You see Kanye in the wild sometimes. Like, there are people who, like, I saw Bryson Tiller, like, in Hollywood, and it was chill. But I'm sure that those people have, like, a certain level of understanding about what they do and who they are, to the point where it's like they're not like, oh my God, like, why are they reacting the way that they're reacting? Just because, oh yeah, I'm LeBron. Oh yeah, I'm Kanye. Oh yeah, I am Bryson. Wait, what did I say? Brent Fayez. I'm sorry. Brent Fayez. But yeah, I feel like Wisdom does have like a negative self concept about himself, where, or his life, where he loves creating, he loves posting his stuff, but he doesn't like what comes with it. And I think that until he works on the story that he's telling himself around that, it's just gonna be a bad experience for every time he steps outside. But let's continue.
it's a bummer. And I mean like look, I mean like I don't want it to seem like I'm complaining because I fully believe no matter what you do in life you can complain. Whether you are famous and make $1 billion, gajillion or you're not. Like you can complain. The moment you start telling people who can and cannot complain and policing people who can and cannot complain, that's when you start stripping people of their humanity. Because no matter what you're doing, you in life or where you are in life, you will have bad things. You will have ups, you will have downs, you will have things to complain about, you have things to be proud about or to praise, whatever. You have your privileges. I think what's important is that you understand your privileges in life and the things that you're gifted and you're gracious of those things, but you have every right to still be like, oh my God, like this is still a thing or an issue or whatever. Some people seem to think fame is a great thing as well, which it's really not an amazing thing.
It can be though. It doesn't have to be a horrible thing. Like being known, it's not horrible, you know. But if you are looking at it from the perspective of Wisdom, then how can you see it any other way? Like, I think his perception of fame is different from another person's perception of fame. If you guys are hearing the squeaking, is my dog. I really do apologize, but he does have to get this energy out. But yeah, for him, the way he sees fame and stuff like that, it is very negative. He's like, oh, I just wish I wasn't famous. So at that point, it's like, yeah, if you ask him about fame, it's like, bro, fame sucks. Like, why would you want to be famous? But for another person, maybe they love the notoriety. Maybe they love that, you know? But just offering different perspectives here. But let's keep going.
And it's like, you know, in moments where I'm like, when I'm in Paris and there's a show and there's like fans screaming my name outside, like that's fine. Like I'm always like, hey guys, like what's up? And I'm always down to take a photo and whatever. But it's like my regular day, I can't do anything anymore. And it's such a bummer, but I guess it comes with the territory. I don't know what I'm gonna have to do though. I guess I just have to start fucking moving different, whatever the fuck that even means. But I don't know. I always make exceptions for like children and really shy people when I can tell they're just like super timid. I'll always try to like break out of my shell for them because I like get it. You know, like I get it. You're shy. I'm like really anxious or whatever. Like I understand. And then with kids, it's their kids. You know, like I always want to make an exception. But it's even that's getting so hard for me to do. Like sometimes nowadays I just have to walk and pretend like I don't hear people yelling my name or calling my name because I just can't do it. Like you can't clock out. That's the thing. When do I clock out? You know, because I put my phone down and I'm here now. I'm in here in this, but everyone is still here, you know, while also being here. And it's like I'm always on shift. I'm always on shift.
So just from what I'm gathering, just looking, this is someone who is like textbook overthinker, like textbook. And I'm not saying it to shame him. I'm just calling it what it is, only because, you know, I promise you, like the perception of other people or how they view you and stuff like that, like I think that once you can understand like who you are and you're comfortable with who you are, how people perceive you, how people look at you, whether it's good or bad, you know, other people's reactions will matter a lot less. The more that you can just, all right, he's doing way too much. It would just matter way less because you are secure. you gotta here, play with this. Yeah. But the more secure you are with yourself, the less you'll be bothered by stuff like that. So I think that it's important to ground yourself in just who you are and stuff like that, because then at that point, the stuff that people do doesn't really have that much of an effect on you. But let's continue.
I don't know. I don't know what to do anymore. I guess I'll just fucking deal with it. I have to fucking deal with it.
It doesn't have
do
a
they
choice.
do coaching? Hey, do they do coaching classes for this? Are there like classes on how to deal with this shit?
It's called therapy. Which is why I don't believe in explaining. Like, I feel like this is probably why he deleted the video. But if he just goes to, like, this was a therapy session that he could talk to somebody about so they could just work on changing those beliefs where, you know, he's not operating in the sense of, oh, everybody's watching me. Oh, I don't want to be famous. Oh, my God. Like, if he just went to therapy, like, a lot of these issues would start to resolve themselves. But let's continue.
Or how to, like, do it. I don't know. I still love you guys though, for sure. Like my life would. I mean, I wouldn't trade this. You know, I fully all the privileges I have. It's the trade off. Every job has its good things and its bad things. It's a trade off, and it's very mentally tasking and draining. But it's a trade off, and it's just what I have to deal with, which is fine. But yeah.
Okay. So that's the video. So my thoughts on the video. I keep on reiterating this point because I don't want to come off insensitive and I don't want to deny his experience about being famous because it does sound like hell. It does sound like bro is going through it, and I do feel for him, and I do wish that, you know, this just starts to turn around for him, because I can't imagine just somebody having as much anxiety as he does to live in a reality that is like, oh my God, like why are people talking to me? Why, you know? Because I don't think he's ungrateful, but when he does voice these things, it does come off as a little ungrateful because it's like, bro, you're famous now. You know, that's just what comes with it. Now, I don't condone fans feeling entitled to people's energy and space when they are seeing people in public, because that's not right either. I think two things can be true, where, you know, I feel as though I feel like fans do have to chill out and not try to go over the top, like touching you or asking for pictures all the time when you are out. But in another sense, I feel like people who are signing up to be celebrities and fame understand that is what comes with the territory. Like, you are going to be noticed in public. Like, that is what comes with it. And if you aren't comfortable with that, I think being self-aware enough to be like, look, you know, maybe I should run a faceless account, or I should do something where I can't be seen or work in the backgrounds, then at that point you could do that. Or put things in place where you get a bodyguard or stuff like that. And when you go outside, you don't want to be bothered, like you can do that. But yeah, because I just don't want this to come off as victim blaming. And I'm sure people might think that that's what I'm doing, but I'm really not. I'm really just trying to break down how the mindset that you have about certain things is always going to color whatever it is that you see. So if you are thinking that, you know, fame is the worst, I hate when I go outside, every time I go outside, I'm going to be so tense, that is just what you're going to see, and you're just going to find more proof of that in your reality. But yeah, I think that's about it. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you guys think fame is a blessing or a curse? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.